The balance of power in the U.S. Senate could hinge on the race to replace retiring Michigan Senator Debbie Stabenow. The two candidates are well versed in Washington politics.
The race features current Democratic Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin taking on former Republican Congressman Mike Rogers. I sat down with the two candidates who are hoping to represent Michigan in the U.S. Senate. 24 years representing the state of Michigan in Washington is coming to an end for Senator Debbie Stabenow. Running to replace her, current Democratic Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin and former Republican Congressman Mike Rogers.
I think that I have the right skill set. I can get busy on the first day.
For me, I come from a service background, and it's a continuation of my service.
48-year-old Alyssa Slotkin has represented Michigan's 7th Congressional District for nearly 6 years. Her previous public service includes 3 tours in Iraq as a CIA analyst and as an acting assistant secretary in the Department of Defense. Before stepping away from politics in 2015, 61-year-old Republican Mike Rogers represented Mid-Michigan in Congress for 14 years. Rogers served in the U.S. Army for 4 years and worked as an FBI special agent. He says border security is a top priority.
That absolute open border for the last 4 years has been devastating.
Rogers says the influx of illegal citizens and drugs has been especially bad in southeast Michigan.
We've lost almost 3,000 of our citizens to fentanyl death coming across the southern border. And in southeast Michigan, we've had sexual assaults of minors by illegals.
No one's proud of what's going on at the southern border.
Slotkin says she's done more for border security than any other Michigan member of Congress and endorsed a bipartisan border tightening deal.
We had a deal that was on the table. Some of our most conservative Republican senators were the authors of that deal. Our border forces endorsed that deal, including the ones from Windsor and Sault Ste. Marie. And then they were told to stand down because they wanted to use that political issue in an election.
When it comes to pocketbook issues, Rogers says he'll be a champion for Michigan's middle class, which he says is struggling to make ends meet.
Cost of goods and services, groceries, insurance rates, your electric bill, your gasoline costs, all of that are making things just unattainable and unaffordable for families.
Slotkin says as a U.S. Senator, she will fight to keep in place what Rogers has voted to change.
He's voted to privatize Social Security, to cut Medicare, to raise the retirement age. He was 20 years an elected official, so he has a record on this.
On the issue of abortion rights,
abortion's been settled. So abortion is legal in Michigan. It's a part of the Michigan Constitution. And I've said from the very beginning, I wouldn't do anything in Washington to change that.
After Roe was taken away, there has not been 1 month that the other side of the aisle hasn't stopped going after IVF, contraception, a woman's right to travel, the drugs that conduct abortions, any of it. So, and then there's constantly legislation for a national ban on abortion.
Political polar opposites, both determined to be Michigan's next U.S. Senator.
To me, what we need now more than ever is people who are looking to get into public service and to continue to serve because they want to serve their country. They don't want to serve themselves.
I think it's important we send somebody from Michigan to Washington, not Washington to Michigan.